And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swatt with the Sacramento Report. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about building trust between communities and police departments. My guest this segment is Freddie Rodriguez, member of the State Assembly from Chino. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you have a piece of legislation that will be talked about a lot in the next several months or a year or two. And that is to, I guess, mandate body cameras on police officers, correct?
Yes, I think it's very important that we look at what's really happening out there. I've seen it's been discussed a lot nationwide, but I think now we're looking at body cameras for police officers, which I feel that will probably be standard issue within the next few years, because that'll show the whole picture of what's really occurring out there as an officer has an interaction with someone out in the streets.
Both to hold an officer accountable, but also to perhaps exonerate if that officer should be exonerated.
Yes, you know, there's one of the smaller departments just outskirts of my district, the city of Rialto, has reached so much praise for their body camera program, and that their complaints have went down over 50% on officers. So it's it's an department that has a strong commitment what they're doing in the community and have proven results on the effectiveness of body cameras.
The city of Los Angeles, as I understand it, has is ordering 7,000 body cameras for their police officers. You're going to have to work with all sorts of different constituencies as you try to move this legislation. What feedback are you getting from police departments?
I think they're very open to it because they're seeing it being a trend, but with them, they want to be part of the discussion, be at the table to see how we move forward in implementing these programs as far as how and when are they going to be used, when the cameras turn on, when they turn off. How do you store all that data, right? And who's going to have access to that data? So it's more than just wearing a body camera. There's more to it. So it's very important that we have law enforcement at the table to discuss the issues that they see that may be cause of concern.
Do we need to also worry about how we're going to pay for all this?
Yes, as well. You know, just recently, President Obama talked about some funding mechanism, but also there's another member of the Assembly, Assemblymember Alejo, who's looking at some funding opportunities for body cameras for departments here in the state.
And yeah, federal grants, and you have to come up with the money, obviously. I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about another piece of legislation you have, which is sort of along the same lines, and that's creating a database to basically log and report officer-involved shootings, not only when an officer does the shooting, but when there's a shooting at a police officer. And so there is no database of all this information?
There really isn't anything that really shows the whole picture of what's really happening out there. And it's not all departments are really reporting everything that's being done out there. We only hear a small percentage of things. But yes, this legislation will look at the reporting on incidents that occur not only to the civilians out there that come encounter with the police officer, but also we got to look at the officers that involved in horrific events where they die in the line of duty. Last year, we've had over a dozen police officers here in California that were killed in the line of duty. So this is going to create a database to look at both aspects of it and seeing if there's a way that we can better educate and train officers and civilians out there on what's really occurring.
I was going to ask, what would you hope to get out of this information that you gather?
Well, the database will show us if there's a trend in certain things that are occurring out there in the streets with law enforcement or with the civilians, and maybe look back at training standards for law enforcement.
All right. Well, we're out of time for this segment. Time goes very quickly. We would certainly like to have you back in the next few months to talk about the progress of both of these pieces of legislation, especially I think the body camera, which is being talked about throughout the state. Freddie Rodriguez, thank you very much for coming by and talking to us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And thanks to our viewers also for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. A reminder that you can see this and other interviews on YouTube, on My Government On Demand, also on the California channel. I'm Steve Swatt. Have a great day.